Today, my friends, we're here to teach you guys Miner Hog Hybrid. However, we're going to be showing you guys this from Townhall 11 to Townhall 13 using one simple method, the YETI bomb. Like the title says, we're looking at YETI bomb and hybrid. Yeah, we are looking at these two together. So, what is different between a normal, sort of hybrid attack, and what is the difference between these two? So hybrid is typically going to use a charge. Remember, with your charge, you're looking to get some value from the inside the base. Well, this strategy basically does it all. The YETI bomb actually does what your charge would do, just with the Yetis, of course. Now, this works from Townhall 11 to Townhall 13, so we've got multiple examples to show you guys. We've got 5 different examples, including this one right here. That way we can actually teach you guys this from all different types of Town Hall levels. So we're going to be starting off with Townhall 11. What's really important here is that you got to make sure that you are getting the value that you want from your YETI bomb. Primarily, this is looking to, get a multi-inferno. So by first taking a look over here, what we're going to be seeing is we first want to take a look at where the town hall is before we actually even think about sending in our wall or our battle blimp into that area. So once we figure that out, now what we're going to do is we're going to send in our battle blimp this way. We're going to deal with that multi-inferno. Now, one quick side note, it's that if there is an air sweeper around that area, like let's say for instance, if it's covering over the multi-inferno, then it's not going to be a good base to hit. I've seen it I've actually just recently saw same person who was trying to use this attack, but the YETI bomb actually kind of failed, and it didn't allow him to get the multi-inferno because, of course, the air sweeper. So just keep that in mind, because the air sweeper can definitely be a deadly sort of enemy. Even if it doesn't do any damage, it's still really, really important to make sure that what you're doing is you're looking at the base design before you really do anything else. Now, once you've kind of figured that out, of course, what you're seeing here is you're going to see this entire compartment gutted. That's always going to be really, really good. So with that being said, if we just kind of, show you guys this a little bit more, from this bottom section here, even though I'm going to be covering a little bit of the army camp space, but what we're going to be doing is we're walking our queen around this area. So what we're doing is we want our queen to sort of clear this entire section. That way, what this allows us to do is drop in our king, set that side of the funnel, and send in the miners and hogs here. Fairly simple stuff. So making sure that we can, create the funnel and then send in our miners and our hog riders, those are going to be really, really important elements. That's really all that this strategy is. It's very simple still. It's nothing too difficult, and it's using a YETI bomb. So let's first take a look at what we're going to be doing with our queen walk. Of course, we are using a queen walk here. We're not using a charge. You don't see any wall breakers, quad quake, or even a jump. But once we've started to establish the queen walk, we'll drop in a loon. That will be our coconut loon, and this loon's job is to soak up any seeking air mines near that wall or that battle blimp. So you'll see that when it gets placed, any seeking air mines there, it's going to go straight over towards that town hall. It does pull up a black bomb here, but that's actually completely fine because it helps it pop, and you'll see that the YETI bomb did get it done. Now, here's the thing. At Town Hall 11, you're only going to be allowed to hold one YETI. However, at Town Hall 12 and Town Hall 13, you're going to be able to hold more Yetis, which is always going to be a plus when you're using this attack. Think of this as Electron, only a little bit better, and what it does is it allows you to create a funnel from the inside of the base. That's really the main job of it. It's not typically like an Electron. It's not going to work nearly as good as Electron, but if you're considering using something different, like a YETI bomb, then this is definitely where it's at. So all you're doing is just using your battle blimp and a rage. That's it. Very similar to Electron, except you're not using another spell. So that's really, really good. So you'll see that still luring out the enemy CC is always going to be a huge help, because what this allows us to do is it does allow us to deal with that enemy CC very easily. You'll also notice that we had those Yeti mites, you know, sort of help take care of those other defensive buildings, and that's really going to help us a lot as we get through it. So you'll see in this example is that we dealt with the enemy CC. Very, very simple, just an ice golem and a baby dragon. Very simple stuff, and I think there were a couple archers in there too. But that's very, very simple. And then you can see that now we're sending in our miners. We're taking our time. We want to place in our hogs once we have our miners and our Grand Warden set. And once that happens, then we're going to use our Grand Warden's ability. This works really well. Remember, all these tips can work at Townhall 11, 12, and 13. So everything I'm saying is going to work at all 3 of these Townhall levels. And also we're going to show you guys some examples from there. So just make sure that what you're doing here is you're, for one, keeping your queen alive with the rage spells. And then you're also healing up and using your Grand Warden ability over your hogs and miners, so that then they don't get taken out so quickly. Now, sometimes you may have your miners and your hogs split a little bit, especially if they're going right by the queen. So if you're dealing with the queen, then you might want to try and keep your miners in the base, so then the hog riders don't get completely gutted from the core. That's really what you want to try and do, but other than that, you can still see, very, very simple. It's just a normal hybrid, but you're using something that really isn't always used, and I've never seen it at Townhall 11 until now. So I would say it's definitely a viable option here at Townhall 11 to use. It's not even that bad, and it just offers you some great value, as, you know, other strategies wouldn't really do the same. So with that being said, I know that this was one long example, but let's move on to our next example featuring Townhall 12. So this time we are looking at it at Townhall 12. Nothing is actually different with this example. One of the biggest things though is you are just using a queen walk with this attack. It's very simple. All you're doing is just doing a queen walk on one side, creating the funnel. Then you're going to use your king on the opposite side to create the funnel there. And then all you're going to do is use your Yeti bomb to get rid of a multi-inferno and, you know, some extra value. So on this base design here, what we'll do is we'll have the queen walk this way towards the town hall, Yeti bomb to take care of this multi-inferno, and then also establish the funnel here. That way this entire area is gutted out, and this allows us to use our miners and our hogs and go around like this. Pretty simple stuff, not too difficult. Definitely, I would say that it is definitely a very, very strong one at that. So you'll see that we're going to start off with the queen walk at around 12 o'clock. So that allows us to sort of get some value here. We're just going to allow that queen to walk in the right direction that we want her to go, which is obviously going to be towards the town hall. If she didn't go for the town hall, probably it would have gone, we would have used the Yeti bomb over it. So you'll see what the Yeti bomb is going to do right here. It's going to pop right there. Then he's going to use it, and look at that explosion radius. Easily taken down, I think, like 3 of those buildings. And that just allows us to get some good value by just using that Yeti bomb, which was, I believe, 2 Yetis, if I am not mistaken. But you can still see here is that we're going to be able to easily deal with the enemy's CC, which is the Lava Hound. And then we're also going to be able to deal with the Barbarian King there, since we are just really taking our time. You can see that we're just using a couple of those, or we're just mainly focusing with that queen walk. So you'll see that that's really all we're doing there. We're creating the queen, we're using the queen walk to create the other side of the funnel. Very, very simple stuff. And you can just see that now what we've got is we've got some easy funneling. We've got some easy pathing for this. You'll see as the queen starts moving her way down this way, we have everything moving in that way. That allows us to use everything and go along here. Very, very simple. That's really all we have to do, and that is just one of the ways that we can really use this attack strategy much more effectively, more than anything else. It's just making sure that you can create a funnel. That's why you're usually going to use the king on the outside. So you'll see that, like you see right here, we're going to use our Grand Warden's ability. It wasn't early, but it also wasn't too late. It was kind of in the middle. So definitely make sure that you're using it in the correct spot, which is typically going to be around the beginning to maybe when there's like a lot of point defenses and stuff like that. That's when you would use it. Very similar to how you would with any sort of minor attack, but still very, very simple stuff, and it's really easy to do. There really isn't a lot to what I'm talking about, as it is really, really easy to use this attack. No joke, hands down. this is probably one of the best attack strategies right now to be using from Townhall 11 to Townhall 13. Super strong right now. So let's go and take a look at another example here at Townhall 12. So we're taking a look at another one here at Townhall 12, and what's really, really big about, what's really important about learning this attack is mainly that you are looking at different type of base designs like you saw from Townhall 11 to Townhall 12 right now. It's that, of course, you'll notice that we are not doing a charge. So what we're doing is we are trying to make sure that we're getting funneling value. That's why we're going to be using a blimp in order to take out stuff. And that's what's really simple. So if we take a look at this area here, these healers that would be used in our walk into the town hall would get targeted by that multi-inferno. So that's one of the multi-infernos that we have to take out. That's very, very simple to do. Just using that YETI bomb, and you're going to be able to get a lot of really good value. So if we kind of play this, you'll kind of see what I mean by this. Dealing with the enemy CC is not too difficult. You're just going to use this to do two things, actually. You know, create the funnel, allow your funnel from the inside, still get some value from there. It also allows you to, sort of protect your queen charge or queen walk. And it's also going to be used much more in order to sort of pull out that enemy CC. That way you can actually deal with it fairly easily, and since most of the time it's going to be damaged for you guys, then you'll probably most likely see this, or maybe you could see yourself using this a little bit more. It's up to you. So one of the biggest things to really understand with this attack is you want to make sure that you are creating two funnels. So one side of your funnel is going to usually go towards the town hall if it's on the outside of the base. If not, and it's kind of a little bit more symmetrical, then you may want to really try and, do something a little bit different with yours. So one of the biggest things that you want to try and make sure that you're doing is to use your hogs and your miners as they drive into the base like you see right here. So we're trying to keep them all in the base. So that's why we have a funnel set right here, and that's why we also have this funnel set here. That way that allows our warden and our hogs and miners to go through the rest of the base as they start to move through, making sure that we're healing them up and using the Grand Warden's ability properly. That way we're going to be able to easily get through a large amount of base designs just using this attack. It's really not that hard when you're using this one. So I would say that if you are a Townhall 12 looking to use Miner Hog Hybrid, then I would say that this is definitely a really good version for you, as it just really allows you a little bit more freedom. And not just that, but it just offers you some better sort of ways of really doing your attacks. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move on to Townhall 13. Now we're here moving on to Townhall 13, and this is going to be very, very similar to all the other town halls that we've covered with this. What's all the same thing is that you're going to be using a YETI bomb to take care of a multi-inferno, get some extra value from there, and then walk your queen to the town hall and take her out. This is mainly for Townhall 12 and Townhall 13, but this is one common thing that you're looking for. At least a multi-inferno. That way you're going to be able to set a funnel a lot easier for your attack. So that's going to be really what you're trying to look for. So if we kind of play this one, really nothing new, nothing different. Of course, you can see that this is on a max Townhall 12. So this works really, really well. I would say that this strategy is really strong. If you really want to give it a try, I would highly encourage that you guys try it out. So you'll see that what we're going to do is drop that rage spell and then drop in that the YETI bomb, and boom, you can see they're actually going to do a lot of work around there, even taking care of that scatter shot, which they should be able to, especially with all of those YETI mites, easily taking that out. So now what's next is we're going to create the funnel on this side here that allows our queen to sort of walk into the town hall area. That's the wizard, and that's where it really did its job. So that's definitely a huge plus there. It just has a sliver of health left too. So you'll see that what we're doing is we're dealing with a lava pup CC or a lava hound CC, and we're bringing in the minion there in order to help clear up those lava pups, keep those healers alive, and allow us to go through the rest of the base. So you'll see that we're going to still deal with the enemy CC, but we've got a rage spell on the healers that allows our healers to sort of keep our queen alive even when she's being hit by the enemy king. So you'll see that now she's going to step up on the CC, then onto the Townhall. And this is really going to be her sight range here, even though it did go over to the gold storage. Dealing with the Townhall here, like you'll see, easily. And now you can see Miner's Hogs can be sent in after a funnel over here has been created. And that's what you'll see here on what the king was doing, working his way around this way. So now he's going to work his way down, and he's going to help keep the miners and the hogs in the base at all times. So you'll see that as he's working his way down, even against a scatter shot, we've got to make sure that we are using our... First of all, we need to use our Grand Warden's ability pretty early on, especially since we used our freeze early on. But you want to use that freeze spell right over the scatter shot, because that thing is going to tear up all your troops. And this is very similar at Townhall 13 when you're just using a regular Miner Hog. So even I did it as well. Even though I didn't really know too much, I actually didn't even watch any videos when I did it, just to actually see myself be able to replicate an attack like this, without the YETI Bomb, of course, at Townhall 13 was really incredible to me, and I'm really, really glad I really took the time to use it in the Clan War Leagues. But with that being said, still very, very simple attack, and this just gives you guys another really unique option of using, well, you guys can just see, this strategy fits every single Town Hall right now. Townhall 11, Townhall 12, Townhall 13, that's what I meant by that. But now we're going to look at one last example, which is going to be, from Townhall 13 again, but we're going to look at one more example. So you may already notice from this base design here is that there is a single target inferno, which is going to be our primary basis for our YETI Bomb. So you'll see that the main reason to why is because we're going to be walking our queen towards that Town Hall. So that means that what we're going to be doing is we want to take out that single inferno, so then our queen can go in the right direction without having to deal with that single inferno. Very, very simple, and we're still getting some extra value from it. That's what I call some really good value there for our entire attack. So one of the biggest things as well is making sure that you're able to deal with the enemy CC. Typically this is going to be, Hound probably at Townhall 11, or I'm sorry, Townhall 13, but then also Ice Golem, that's definitely going to slow him down. So there's a lot of different things that you need to consider before you actually think about using a certain strategy. So for here, dealing with a base design like this, nothing too difficult, especially when there are two single target infernos, but still it really isn't that difficult. And just remember that what we're doing on either side, if we just leave it like this, we want our queen to walk right here towards that Town Hall, take it out. That has completed our funnel that on that side. That allows us just to send in the king over here, maybe a couple more troops, and actually just work its way to clear all of that. Then what we can do is we can send in our miners into a direction like this, like you'll see right here, moving right into that scatter shot. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to wait until, they're really locked onto those, and then we want to use our ability really early on, especially when, they're getting hit a lot. So we want to make sure that we are protecting as much of them as we can, especially underneath the Grand Warden ability against a scatter shot. But you'll see here, very simple stuff. Now you may also notice that she is going to be targeting some of those Hog Riders. So one of the biggest things that you want to do is that's the reason why you want to keep miners in the base at all times. You want to make sure that the miners are sort of clearing up the queen so your hogs don't need to worry. And that's going to really be how you guys use this attack. So let me know in the comments below if you guys enjoyed this video. You learned something from it. Maybe you learned that you can use YETI Bomb from Townhall 11 to Townhall 13. But please let me know in the comments below if you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, why not leave a like, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell to join the Corrupt fam. Also, feel free to go ahead and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and also feel free to join my community Discord and join any of the clans I'm covering within the description below. But with that being said, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.